Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel Wellness Unfiltered with Niharika. This is your space for growth, healing and energy. Do you ever feel like your child just isn't listening? No matter how many times you say something. You're not alone. In this video, I am sharing 8 simple and powerful strategies to help you connect with your child and get them to actually listen without shouting or losing your cool. So, the topic here is how to deal with children who seems less willing to hear us. Now, if you are a parent or a teacher or anyone who interacts with children, you will agree that sometimes no matter how gently or firmly we speak, children just don't listen. And is that okay? I understand it's tough to deal in such situations as you're thriving hard to bring that positive change in your child. So what to do? Firstly, you have to learn to stay calm because at that moment, children aren't rejecting you. They are just overwhelmed, maybe emotionally distinct or maybe distracted. So the first thing to remember is patience and hold your calm. Children aren't little adults. Their attention spans are shorter. Their priorities are different. And often their emotions are louder than their logic. Let me tell you one story, the clay pot. There was once a teacher sitting with a ball of soft clay. With palm practiced hands, she began to shape it slowly and steadily. Bit by bit, that clay transformed into a neat and beautiful pot. A curious child watched fascinatedly. "That looks easy," he said. Grabbing his own lump of clay, he pressed, he squeezed, he turned it quickly, and just like that, it cracked. The clay collapsed into a mess. Teacher smiled and said gently, "Clay doesn't need force, it needs patience." So you see, shaping clay is like guiding a child. Firm hands will help, but forceful hands will harm. The boy nodded, understanding not just the clay but something much bigger. Lesson was patience shapes but pressure shatters. Moving to the second strategy, it is important to connect before you correct your child. Before giving any instruction, take a moment and build connection. Talk, smile and engage them in quick questions. Like when the child feels connected, they are more likely to listen. Instead of raising your voice, repeating your instructions endlessly, we can pause, come down to their eye level and truly connect. Maybe you can even ask, "Hey, something is bothering you?" Trust me, this little shift will open the doors that commands cannot. Moving to third point, make listening easier for them. Simplify your sentences. Children tune when we talk too much. I mean to say they tune out. Try giving one instruction at a time, clear and calm. Offer choices to them instead of orders. You can say, "Finish your homework now," but it would be better if you say, "Would you like to finish your maths work or science work?" So what are you actually doing here? You're putting them to the driving seat and it is so fascinating for them. In this way, we are actually bringing upon the desirable change in their conduct. Let me tell you a story, the silent drum. Once there was a father who loved his son deeply, but in his love, he corrected him constantly. "Don't do that. Why you have not done this? No, it is not like this." Every step the boy took, a sound, a voice came from behind. So, what happened? Over time, the boy started to shrink. He stopped trying. He stopped listening. He stopped being himself. The father noticed it. In silence, and for the very first time, he listened to it. So one day, he quickly handed his son a drum with no instructions, no corrections, just a drum and a space. The boy started tapping, slowly at first, awkwardly, but day by day his rhythm grew, stronger, freer, and more alive. The father watched. He didn't say much to him, but he smiled because the boy didn't learn to play the drum. He found his voice in silence. And the father, he learned something else. He learned that not all lessons need to be loud. Sometimes its best thing is when we give time to our children and they need that space also. This space will give a trust in them. Moving to the fourth point, it's the model, the behavior you want and wish to see in your child. When children see that, we listen to them, even when they are slow, upset, or distracted. They learn to listen back. Remember, children who seems less willing to hear are often the ones who need to feel the most. Means the children who want to hear or want to tell something want to get heard. I'll tell a story. There was a girl, Meera. She was very quiet, never followed the instructions, never raised hand in the class, and always seemed lost in her own world. While the class scribbled the notes, she followed the steps. Meera doodled, stared out of the windows and drawed the all stars. Teacher tried everything. Reminders, scolding, instructions, repeated again and again, but nothing changed in Meera. Until one day, her teacher tried something different. Instead of correcting Meera, she gave a simple note to her on her desk. The note had, "Your ideas matter." Just 4 words, "Your ideas does matter." No lecture, no demand, just a quiet invitation that whatever you say, it matters to me. So, the very next day, Meera raised her hand in class. Not to ask a question, but to share an idea. It was a brilliant thought from a teacher's side. From that moment onward, Meera wasn't ignoring anything anymore. She was engaging because someone finally saw her. So what's the moral of this story? Some children aren't disobedient. They are just unheard. And sometimes all it takes is a small message to open the door to that big sky. So what's the lesson? Child blooms not under pressure, but when they feel truly valued. So you have to value your child. Now the fifth one, calm tone works best. Speak calmly and firmly. Yelling usually backfires. I tell you, a calm tone with clear words gets their attention and earns their respect. Acknowledge their feeling. This is my sixth point. Acknowledge their feeling. Say the things like, "I know you are upset, but let's talk about it." When a child feels understood, they will definitely cooperate and will be more positive. So with positive note, I am telling the seventh point, that's positive reinforcement. Catch them being good. Notice small wins. You can say, "Thank you for starting your own." That positive feedback builds a motivation in child. And last point which I want to say is, stay consistent with your boundaries. That is very, very important. If rule changes too often, the kids get confused. Set a fair boundary and just stick to them. The story, you must have heard the ice cream rule. Every house has that story. Every evening, a little girl, Isha, would ask, "Can I have ice cream after dinner?" Her parents, depending on their mood, would say, "Sure, just this time." Or they would say, "No, not at all." Sometimes okay, but sometimes not. So she got confused. Then she got a clever idea. She cried louder some days, negotiated sweetly on the others until she cracked the code. Inconsistency wins. So what happened? One evening, after a huge meltdown in a grocery store over yes ice cream, her mother whispered and said, "Look, we need to fix this. Not her tantrums, but our rules." From that day onwards, the rule was simple. Ice cream only on Saturdays. No Mondays, no Fridays, just Saturdays. And they stuck to it. At first, Isha tested it, again pleading, pouting, pushing and showing all the tantrums. Later on, she understood and she stopped asking because the rule never changed. And in this simple boundary, she found something powerful, that is trust. So the lesson is, when boundaries shift like sand, kids feel unstable, But when they say stay sturdy like rock, kids learn to respect, become responsible and even stay at peace. Consistency isn't control, it's security. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel. So my friends, remember, children aren't being difficult. They are still learning how to communicate. With patience, empathy, and these tools, you will notice a magnanimous difference. And on this note, my dear friends, I would like to thank you all for tuning in today. If you found this video helpful, do like, share, and subscribe for more parenting and wellness tips. This side, Niharika signing off. Stay patient, stay kind, spread happiness. God bless you all.